Dasharatha said, why do you want to take this child? He's not even 16 years. Basically, it means, for a person to fight in the battle, he should be at least a minimum of 16. And I will come with you. I will bring my entire Akshauhini to help you. But Vishwamitra Muni says, no, I want Ram. I want to take Ram. So it is said Dasharatha fainted. Then again he was woken up. Then again he fainted. So that was his situation. He was so much in love with Ram that he didn't want, he was very scared, what would happen to Ram without knowing the glory of Lord Ram. Of course, he was in Vatsalya Rasa. So all credit goes to him for that Vatsalya Prem, which he had for Lord Ram. And then, it takes Vashishta Muni to, help him understand, realize that, Ram is quite capable to handle this. And then he lets him go. Then the whole thing happens, on the way, Vishwamitra Muni is telling about the different places, and, the descent of Ganga, then the deliverance of Ahalya, then his reaching Janak's Darbar, and then Lord Ram lifting the bow and breaking it. So all these, because Janak also was worried, when Sita was a small child, she wanted to, I think she wanted to pluck something or do something, pluck some fruit or something, and she didn't find anything. She looked at a bow and she lifted that bow and she used it and she kept it back. And then when this was told to Janak, Janak became very mm, disturbed, disturbed in the sense pleasantly disturbed, that how can a child lift it, because it took 3,000 people to bring that bow and place it there. 3,000 or 8,000, I'm not sure. So huge, thousands of people had to lift it. Then how can a child lift it? Then he could realize that she is not an ordinary girl. She has immense potency, and somebody who is going to marry her, he also has to be of the same caliber. So it is not easy for anybody to, because if she is so powerful, if she is embracing somebody, then that person will die. So that way, Janak was thinking that I should find a suit. When I say Janak, Janak means her father's name is Shiradhwaja. Although there are unlimited number of Janaks in the one of the sub branches of Surya Vamsha. So Shiradhwaja, thinks that I should arrange for a Swayamvar, and then that is how Lord Ram appears, and by the um, consent of Vishwamitra Muni, he breaks it, and he only breaks the bow. But when it comes to marriage, it is told that Lord Ram wanted to seek the permission of his parents. They go back and they come back, and then he gets married to Sita, and of course Lakshmana gets married to Urmila and others. So then we see in the Ayodhya Khand where all the episode of Manthara and KK banishing Lord Ram to the forest, and having Bharat coronated as the king. That takes place. Dasharatha is devastated. He gives up his body, and the Ayodhya Vasis are upset with Kaikei, with Bharat. Great tragedy takes place in the Ayodhya Khand, and everybody is devastated. It is very emotional, very great sacrifices are performed, great sacrifices individually performed by Lord Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Kaushalya, Bharat also. So some consider Bharat as the hero of Ramayana, because nobody can sacrifice as much as Bharata could do it. Then later on, in this Aranyakand, of course, he meets Guha, and then Guha helps him cross over Ganga. All that happens. Then after that, when he also meets Bharadwaj Muni, and then later on, when he is going further down in Aranyakand, Aranyakand starts off with this demon called as Viradha. So this Viradha is a very horrible demon. He kidnaps Sita, and he's so ferocious. He was carrying, you know, five, six heads of lions and tigers and jackals, and these animals were like plaything for him. He could easily kill these animals, and he was carrying all these. heads of these animals like lions and tigers. And when he saw Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, he kidnapped Sita because you'll find in the entire Ramayana, all these demons are very eager to kidnap Sita because she is very beautiful, very beautifully formed bodily shape, and very soft skinned. So all the demons are very eager, they're very eager with lust. So then Rama is devastated. He says, oh, I could tolerate Dasharatha's death, but I would not tolerate somebody touching Sita. And then, there is a fight. And then this Viradha is killed. So this Viradha was also some demigod in the past, and he got relieved from his. All the demons in Ramayana that are killed, they were all, cursed. They were all probably demigods or Gandharvas or whatever. And then they are relieved because of killing by Lord Ram or Lakshmana. So somehow they get the benedictions. Everywhere you see, all the different demons that Lord Ram kills, they're benedicted that, they'll be killed by Lord Ram and they'll be relieved of their demoniac body. And then further, Lord Ram goes to the main purpose why Lord Ram, goes to the forest. It is mentioned that there was a conversation between Vishnu and Lakshmi saying that you are not giving me sufficient privacy. So I want to be, exclusively with you. I want exclusive time. That is why the Lord has planned and designed this, his vanvas of 14 years with Sita, so where he could get exclusive time with her. And of course, there are other reasons also to kill the demons and also to protect the rishis. The Lord also wanted to take the association of these great souls, rishis, who had been sheltered in the forest. Forest is the place of Sattva Guna. In the age of Kali Yuga, you don't find sattvic people in the forest. Forests are now only filled with thieves, rogues, robbers, smugglers. One cannot survive in the forest in the age of Kali Yuga. He'll be either killed by animals or by the, antisocial elements. So it is said, Prabhupada told us that for us, the forest in the age of Kali Yuga is Mayapur Vrindavan. So that is where we go take shelter of the devotees. So Lord Ram wanted to take shelter of all these great souls. He wanted to show his mercy, and they were all, they had fructified in their sadhana, in their spiritual practices, and the Lord wanted to deliver them. And some of them, of course, they went to upper planetary systems. So after killing of this Viradha, Lord Ram goes to um, uh, this Rishi, these Rishis ashram, what's his name? Sarabhanga Rishi, yeah. So when he goes to Sarabhanga Rishi's ashram, before going, he actually sees the Lord Indra comes in his chariot driven by 1,000 horses. He's speaking to Sarabhanga Rishi, and then immediately after seeing Lord Ram, he disappears even without meeting. So there's no confusion between Indra and Lord Ram. They have an understanding, but uh, Indra tells Sharabhang Rishi, no, I don't want to meet Lord Ram because now he's on a mission. Let that complete. I will anyway meet him later on. And then, Indra goes away from there. So they meet Sharabhanga Rishi, who was about to give up his body, and he was going back to Brahmaloka, and Indra had come to take him back in his chariot. And then Sharabhanga Rishi says that, I was waiting for you because Indra had told me that you will approach. So I was waiting for you so that I can take your blessings, your darshan, and then I can proceed ahead. Then Lord Rama says, we are moving around in this Dandakaranya forest, so we want a place to stay. Then he will accommodate him for a night, but later on he says, you go to another rishi called as Sutikshana, and that rishi will help you accommodate you in a very suitable place in this forest. So that is how after Sharavanga Rishi leaves, then Lord goes to this rishi called as Sutikshana. So Sutikshana is living in a hermitage surrounded by several other, rishis, having their own hermitages. And Sutikshana also tells Lord Ram that, this may not be a suitable place. There is some reason he gives some specific reason uh, uh, why he cannot stay there. He says, you can go ahead and you will meet other sages in the forest, who will arrange for your accommodation where you can stay. So this way, the Lord is wandering, traveling in the forests in different places. At one point of time, it is said that, Lord Ram and Sita would even sleep on the forest floor, because they would not have any kutir or any hermitage sometimes overnight. And that would actually pain Lakshmana very much, that, my Lord, who is the Lord of the entire universe, is taking shelter of the forest floor to sleep. And this way, he encounters many things on his path, and he's killing various demons. And finally, Lord Ram comes to know that, there is Agastya Rishi who's living in the Dandakaranya forest, and there is no way to approach him. So he again goes back to this Sutikshana Rishi, and he'll ask him, how do I approach Agastya Rishi? And then he gives him all the details on how he can go to Agastya Rishi. And then Lord Ram, Lakshman, Sita, they all go meet Agastya Rishi, and they serve him. And Agastya Rishi is very pleased, very happy, and he blesses him. And he also gives him a bow, a Vishnu Dhanush, which Agastya Rishi had, and he also gives him a quiver of unlimited arrows, which was given by Lord Indra, and he also and he gives him a sword, which is golden sword bedecked with jewels. So he gives him that sword also. So he's given all these celestial weapons, and the Lord seeks his blessings, and then after that he'll ask him, I want to stay for quite some time. I've been wandering everywhere. So I want to, make a hermitage and live in a specific place. That is when, Agastya Rishi says, go ahead, you'll find the place called as Panchavati. So you stay there in Panchavati, and you can peacefully live in that place for a long time, because that is uh, peaceful and undisturbed place. And that is how, Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Sita, they reach this Panchavati, and it's a very beautiful plain land right in front of the mountains, a river flowing in on the banks of Godavari. They have this beautiful hermitage. The entire scene is very nicely described, bedecked with all flora and fauna. And then Lakshmana, with his own hands, he builds a hermitage for Ram and Sita. For he himself, he has nothing. He always stayed out, and he didn't sleep for the 14 years that they were in the forest. So it is at this place in Panchavati that this demoness Shurpanka, appeared there, and Shurpanka looks at the beautiful, handsome Lord Ram, and she smells uh, human blood, because the Rakshasas, they can smell human blood from a far distance. So because of that, she came there. She wanted to come and devour. She thought, I have some food to eat. But when she looked at the beautiful, handsome Ram, her mind changed, and she thought, he's so beautiful. She fell in love with him, and love in the sense, she felt very lusty towards him. And she says, oh handsome one, um, why are you wandering here? Who are you? And then Lord Ram, he gives his description, who he is, from the Ikshvaku dynasty, and how he is banished to the forest. And she says that, you are so handsome, I want to marry you. I want to live with you. Ignore this ugly creature, that is Sita. Why do you want to stay with her? because she was very beautiful and she was very envious and jealous. So Shurpankhar looked at Sita as ugly, disfigured creature, you know, who was, with Ram. She said, abandon her and then, marry me. Actually, it is said that, Shurpankhar, she could change her shape. So she was a shape-shifting demon, and so she became very beautiful when she came in front of Lord Ram. Before coming in front of Lord Ram, she she put up the uh, person as a beautiful lady, and she came. That is why she tried proposing. She knew that no humans would not like Rakshasis, so obviously she came in a very beautiful form. So she came and she proposed to Lord Ram, but Lord Ram said, "I am Ekapatni Vrata." So I am, I have married one and I already have a wife. So, and if you marry me, then, you will have a problem. Even if you marry me, although I am Ekapatni Vrata, but if you marry me, then you will have to live like a co-wife and then you will have problems. You will suffer. So it is better you approach my brother Lakshmana, and he has no wife. He has come without a wife, and he is also equally handsome and beautiful. So he's feeling lonely. Probably you can, go meet him. So anybody can understand this is a joke, but it is said that Shurpanka was so dull-headed that she could not understand that, Rama was joking with her. And she took it very seriously and she went to Lakshmana. Then Lakshmana also said the same thing. She said, "Oh, handsome one, I want to marry you. Enjoy with me. Let's roam around in the forests and I will take you to different places. I am the sister of Ravana. I'm most powerful." So she gives her own description. And then Lakshmana says that if you marry me, then you will have to become a maid servant because I am a servant of Lord Ram. That is my position. And you have to become a maid servant of that Sita and you have to become a maid servant of Ram. So it is very bad for you. It's better that you approach Ram and you try to convince him and become his wife. And later on, we can get rid of Sita and she may, we can get rid of her. So this way, Lakshmana is also joking with her. And as said, she was a dull-headed. She could never understand. She again approached Lord Ram, saying that, if you don't marry me, I let me devour this ugly creature and then, I'll force you to marry me. And then, Ram stops her. He tells Lakshmana, punish her. And that is when, Lakshmana cuts off her ears and nose. She is bleeding, screaming, shouting. Uh, one may here, somebody may have a doubt. Lord Ram is Maryada Purushottam and he is very well behaved. He is very respectful to everybody. Even when demons ask him for his identity, he gives his identification. I am the righteous king of Ikshvaku dynasty. My father is Dasharatha. I have been banished to the forest. I have come with my wife and my brother to the forest. They always give their description. So he is so obedient, so respectful, so merciful to everyone, all the jivas. Why is it that they joked with Shurpanka? That question may come. The reason is that Shurpanka came in the form of a very beautiful lady, and when she was uh, struck by the arrows of Cupid, when she was attracted to Lord Ram, she felt very shy. And when she felt very shy, she was rubbing the ground, she was scratching the ground with her toes. But when she was scratching the ground with her toes, her figure changed back into her original form, the demoness form. So, if a beautiful lady is scratching the ground with shyness, it is understandable. But an ugly looking, horrible demon with a big belly and crooked eyes and crooked face with horns and horrible teeth, if she is feeling shy and scratching the ground, it is a very funny scene. So the Lord couldn't control his laughter. He didn't laugh, but he couldn't control this comic scene. So that is why he joked. Then Lakshmana also joked. and Shurpanka did not realize that she was in her original form. That is what happened. And then, of course, she goes back. She goes back to her brothers. Ravana had this Janasthan. They say Janasthan is somewhere around this Nagpur, and Panchavati is near this Nashik. So the word Nasik also is coming because the Sanskrit word for nose is Nasika. So the Nasika of Shurpanka fell there in that place near Panchavati. So from Janasthan, Shurpanaka goes complains to her brothers Khara and Dushan. So these demons were stationed there. It was like, they had their what do you call base, like a military base, like America has some military base in Middle East, like that. Ravana also had a military base in this Janasthan. So Khara and Dushan were responsible for that. So when she goes immediately there and she complains to them, saying that, she's crying and shouting, screaming, falling on the ground. She says, you are my brothers, you have to take revenge against what these humans, Ram and Lakshman did to me. And Khara and Dushan become angry. Then initially Khara Dushan, they sent 14 Rakshasas along with Shurpanka to go confront Lord Ram and Lakshmana, but Lord Ram just with 14 arrows he kills them. And Shurpanka is, completely frightened and she goes back. This time Khar and Dushan, they together along with 14,000 Rakshasas, they come, they approach Lord Ram, and Lord Ram slaughters all the 14,000 Rakshasas. And heaps and heaps of bodies and rivers of blood flow in Panchavati by the killing of Lord Ram. It is said that, the speed at which Lord Ram, shot the arrows from his unlimited quiver, it cannot be imagined also. It is humanly impossible. It is demigodly impossible. It is not possible by anybody. It is only possible by the Supreme Lord. So Lord Ram, the speed at which it is said at the speed of mind, the Lord was shooting arrows. He was taking shooting arrows even before the next arrow left his bow. The other arrow was already there in his hand, and he was shooting. I don't know how it is possible within fractions of milliseconds. So he was shooting, and the arrows were flowing like this everywhere. So it is at that speed, Lord Ram was shooting, that nobody could actually even uh, attack Lord Ram. Of course, some arrows were shot. They say, Valmiki Ramayana says that, the Lord was bleeding also. That is, of course, his transcendental Leela pastime, that he was bleeding. But he slaughtered and killed all the 14,000 Rakshasas. And except only one person escaped from that army. And apart from Shurpanka, the other person who from the army of 14,000 Rakshasas, one person escaped, and his name is Anukampana. Akampana, sorry, not Anukampana, it's Akampana. Akampana is another Rakshasa. So he goes to Lord Ravana, and then he tells him, he narrates to him, all that happened, how single-handedly a human being single-handedly killed all the 14,000 Rakshasas. He is very powerful. He is from the Ikshvaku dynasty. He's a righteous king, Lord Ram, and nobody could match him. No demigods helped him. He single-handedly did it. Ravana asks him, did the demigods help him? He says, no, he did it single-handedly. And Ravana is amazed at the prowess of Lord Ram. And then this Akampana also tells him that he has his beautiful wife Sita, and uh, I think the only idea where we can make him weak is to kidnap his wife. When we kidnap his wife, his beautiful wife, doe-eyed wife, slender-waisted wife, her entire description of Sita, that Ram will become weak. And that is the only way to control and defeat him. Because actually, when Ravana was planning to go attack this Akampana discourages him. He says that, don't underestimate his prowess. He is as good as Lord Vishnu. He can simply finish you. So don't underestimate him. We should, make sure that he becomes weak, and only then, we should attack. So that is when he gives this idea. Then Ravana goes to Marich, and Marich was not killed the first time, when Lord Ram kills Tataka, his mother, then Subahu, but he spares Marich. So Marich is shot with an arrow and he falls very far, far away. And the island where he fell, today is known as Mauritius. Earlier it was known as Maruch, and then later it became Mauritius. So Marich went and fell there. So Ravana approaches Marich and he says, you have to help me kidnap Sita because I want to weaken Ram and kill him. And then Marich tells him that you are a fool. You don't know the prowess of a Lord Ram. I have seen it. I know what he has done. He is very powerful. When Vishwamitra Muni, took him around, he killed so many demons. So whoever gave you this idea of, kidnapping Sita, I would suggest that you go kill him first because he has given you a bad advice. It will only bring destruction to you. This, that, he'll continue to advise, discourage Ravana. Then, Ravana becomes very disappointed. And then, he takes that advice unwillingly and he goes back. He drops the plan. But soon enough, as if Akampana's information was not enough, Shurpanka arrives there. She tells Ravana that, you fool, you are enjoying, you are my brother, you are enjoying sense gratification here with other women, and you are not caring for, what is happening to your brothers and your sister. Look at this, what Ram and Lakshman have done to me, they have completely, disfigured me. And not only that, they have killed your uh, brothers, Khar and Dushan, and all the 14,000 Rakshasas have been destroyed. And she goes on telling, how powerful Lord Ram is. And Ravana becomes frightened at the description. And then he wants to fight. He becomes very angry, agitated. He wants to fight. Then Shurpanka tells, I did, this. My condition is because I wanted to serve you. I wanted to bring that. Actually, it is a lie. She went there and she was enamored with the beauty of Lord Ram and Lakshmana, and she wanted to marry them. But to Ravana, she lies. She tells, I wanted to bring that slender waisted Sita to you, but this is how, I had to go through. It is because of you. It is for you that I did this. And she describes the beauty of Sita. And she says that, you should kidnap her. She is made for you. She is a perfect match. There is nobody who is a perfect match for her except for you. And Ravana is, his lust is incited, and then, he finally decides, I have to kidnap Sita. And that is when he again goes to Marich the second time, and he warns him, if you don't listen to me, now you don't give me advice, I will give you advice. If you don't listen to me, I'm going to kill you. Because Ravana wanted some help, and Marich was very expert in changing shapes, forms, misleading. So he was very expert demon. So Ravana wanted Marich to help him. Marich said that I am sure to die either in your hands if I don't agree with you, or even if I agree with you, I am sure Ram will kill me because I know who he is. I have seen what he has done. So it is better to die in the hands of Ram. But the only mistake Marish did was, he served Ravana. His intention to die in the hands of Ram was good, but his intention to serve Ravana was not good. And in case of Jatayu, we see that His intention was to serve Ram, but get killed at the hands of a demon. So he attained liberation. But Marich got killed directly by the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he could not because he served Ravan. So it doesn't matter, how we die. We may have great hopes of dying in a very Krishna conscious way, but if no service has been rendered to the Supreme Lord or to his pure devotee or to the spiritual master, then our death will never be glorious, no matter we may be surrounded by devotees and others. So what is important is service to the Supreme Lord and his devotees. So that lesson we learn the difference between Jatayu and Marich. So Marich definitely, was killed by Ram. He goes, the description is given, the form that he takes, the beautiful golden deer, very beautiful. It is, glistening, golden colored deer and bedecked with different types of gems and very nicely formed, beautiful design. And the other deers wouldn't, associate with this because they knew that, oh, this doesn't look like an ordinary deer. It looks like a demon. So the animals could recognize. They stayed far away from that. And this deer was wandering around, and Sita looked at it. She was captivated, and then she wanted uh, Rama to get that deer for her alive, not that, go kill it. So she and Rama wanted to, oblige with her, and he went hunting for it. And of course, Marich was Mayavi. He would suddenly disappear. He would appear somewhere else, 100 yards far away. Then again, Lord would approach, go there, and again he would disappear. He would go here, there. So it was a very mystical deer. Of course, Lord Ram knows everything. He's the Supreme Lord. So he's playing in his own pastime. And that way, finally, Lord Ram realizes that yes, this is a demon. It cannot be any animal. The way, it is displaying its mystical, uh, you know, mystical things. So he could realize it is a demon, and now he wanted to kill it. Now he forgot about Sita's desire to bring it. Instead, he decided to kill it. So he shoots the arrow and he kills Marich. And before dying, the foolish Marich, although being killed by the Supreme Lord, he shouts Lakshmana and Sita, and he screams in the voice of Ram, and that puts Sita in bewilderment. She thinks that Ram is in danger. She tells Lakshmana to go, and Lakshmana has an argument. She says that you are waiting for this opportunity so that you could enjoy with me. She accuses him, and then Lakshmana is also very depressed with what Mother Sita said, and then he promises to return back, but tells her not to leave the place. Lakshman Rekha thing is not there in Valmiki Ramayana, but it could be there in other authorized Ramayana. And then soon enough, Ram and Lakshman they realize that they have left Sita alone. But by that time, Ravana came in the guise of a sadhu as a mendicant and asks for alms, and then Sita is giving him alms, and she gives him a seat, and she is serving him. And then he very lustfully looks at Sita, and she realizes it that this fellow can't be a sadhu. And Ravana is speaking about the beauty of Mother Sita. So those descriptions are there. And after that, she realizes this fellow is a lusty fellow. He is definitely a demon who has come in the guise of a mendicant. And then Ravana, shows his form, and then he speaks. There is a big conversation, argument. He tells him, "Come with me." I'm the most powerful demon. I am related to Kuvera, and this and that. And she says, "You don't behave like Kuvera. You're just a demon. You may be." And then Sita is grabbed. She is caught held by her legs and by her hair and taken in the chariot. And then Jatayu fights And it is said Jatayu was very powerful, and he ripped off the 10 arms of Ravana. All the 10 arms on one side, on the right side, were ripped off by Jatayu. He was very powerful. And then, but unfortunately, the hands would again come back. They would grow back. Then Jatayu would rip off his left side arms, all the 10 arms. But again, those hands would grow back. Then Jatayu caught hold of the head of Ravana and he pulled him down from the chariot. He pulled him down all the way, and they both fell to the ground. And Ravana was also equally powerful. He took the sword, he cut off the the wings of Jatayu, completely rendering him helpless. And then he, flees from there along with Sita. And then Jatayu is waiting there, and Lord Ram finally approaches. Jatayu is he reveals what happened. Lord Ram performs the cremation of Jatayu. So he rendered a great service. Jatayu was a friend of Dasharatha, so he helped Dasharatha in battle, and then Lord Ram gave him the same position as that of his father. So that is why he performed all the Antyeshti Kriya for Jatayu as one would do for one's own birth-giving father. So that was the respect Lord Ram gave for Jatayu. And then after that, hmm, Lord Ram, Lakshman, they move forward. They are looking for Sita. That is when they meet this demon called as Kabanda. So Kabanda is like a barrel-shaped demon. He was actually the son of Danu, who had Indra as his enemy, and then Indra actually he becomes very proud of his because he performed austerities and he got a benediction from Brahma that he would live for a very, very long time. And because of that pride, he thought that now I am invincible. Let me attack Indra. He attacked Indra. But Indra, with his thunderbolt, he hit him so hard that his head went inside his trunk and his legs also entered inside his trunk. So he got a shape with no head and no legs. So he was like a barrel shaped, like a drum. And looking at this, this Kabanda became very, uh, upset. He sought forgiveness because of his pride, he had attacked Indra, and Indra said, you will live longer, like Brahma said, I'm not going to kill you, but you will continue.
You're on mute, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We can't hear you.
Can you not hear?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
we can.
now we saw
Can.
it's okay. That
Okay,
once one
maybe.
or two sentences we didn't hear, Prabhuji.
Oh, what was the last one?
That he became
Kadamba
like a
was barrel shaped.
barrel shape.
That was the last we heard.
Okay, okay. So he was in a barrel-shaped, he was a barrel-shaped demon. And then, did I tell about Indra smashing his head and
Yes,
legs?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so
Yes.
that is how he became. And then Indra said that, I will not kill you. He said, kill me. But Indra said, I will not kill you because Brahma has given you the benediction that you will live for a very long time. So that is why I will not kill you. Then Kabanda says, at least give me something to eat, give me a mouth to eat. I have no head. So then it is said that, Indra placed his mouth in the belly. So he had eyes and his mouth in the belly itself. And then he had two very long arms so that he could grab any creatures for his food, and those arms were 8 miles long because he had no legs, so he couldn't move anywhere. So Indra said, I'll give you 8 miles long arms so that sitting in one place you can grab creatures and then you can eat. And then Kabanda is very disappointed, depressed that, he is now in a barrel shaped. The word Kabanda in Sanskrit means like a drum, something like that. So then Indra, looking at his disappointment, he says, okay, I'll benedict you that, when Lord Ram comes and kills you, then you will be freed from your curse. When you will guide them, whatever they want, then you will be freed from your curse. So he's waiting, and then he also gets the same benediction from another sage in the forest. They also benedict him, saying that yes, you will meet Lord Ram, and then he will deliver you from this situation. So when Lord Ram and Lakshman are searching for Sita, they are coming after Jatayu's cremation. Then they meet this Kabanda. Kabanda immediately grabs hold of both Lord Ram and Lakshman. And Lakshmana is so depressed because, just now they lost Sita, and they also cremated Jatayu, who was a very dear friend of theirs. So Lakshmana was so disappointed. He says, "Oh Lord Ram, you sacrifice me to this demon and you bargain for your life, and then you survive and you go in search of Sita. I see no hope." And then Lord Ram says, "What is wrong with you? Fight, we can kill this demon." He encourages him. And then Lord Ram cuts off the right hand of Kabanda, and Lakshmana also cuts off the left hand of Kabanda. And then Kabanda is rendered helpless. And then finally, nobody can kill him because the benediction was he will live for a very long time. So they dig up a pit and they put Kabanda inside the pit and they close it. And suddenly, Kabanda is relieved of his curse and he comes out and he says, "My dear Lord Ram, uh, you know, you're looking for Sita. So the right person to help you is Sugriva. So he lives in this Rishyamukh mountain. You can go there, you can approach him. He will help you. He is in the same position. He is in the same situation like yours. You have lost your wife and he's lost his wife. So he will understand your situation and he'll be the right person to help you." He gives this information and then Kabanda moves ahead. He goes up to the upper planetary systems. He's relieved of his sin. And then, as how, Kabanda gave him the direction to go to Rishamukh mountain, he goes, on the way, he comes across this Pampa Sarovar. That is where, he meets a Shabari, who is a disciple of Matanga Rishi. Matanga Rishi had long left the ashram, left his body, he had gone to the upper planetary systems. She was serving the disciples of Matanga Rishi, and they also had left, but they all had benedicted her because of great service to all the great sages. You will definitely see the Supreme Lord face to face. And because of that benediction, she was waiting, waiting, waiting for a long time. Although she had become old enough to leave her body, but she held on because of that benediction that she wanted to see Lord Ram. And finally, when Lord Ram and Lakshman came in front of her, all her desires were fulfilled. She says that, all my long cherished desires of seeing you have been fulfilled by the blessings of the great sages. And then, she serves Ram, and the story of berries is not there, but, of course, in authorized other Ramayanas, you may find it. And then after that, she, bids them farewell, and then she also leaves her body. So Lord Ram, he's already reached this Rishyamukh mountain. That is where, he will approach uh, when he's at the footsteps of this Rishyamukh mountain. Sugriva sees, he thinks that, oh, some enemy, I mean, Vali may have sent some spies so that they can track him down and, conspire to kill him. That is why, Sugriva sends Hanuman to, confront both of them and talk to them and find out who they are, identify if they are really spies, try to glorify me in front of them, because if they are really enemies and spies, by glorifying me they will become angry, they will reveal who they are. But if they are happy with my glorification, then you will see that, they are not really any spies sent by Vali. That is how, Kishkinda Kand starts. So this brings us to the end of Aranyakand. So I think we are up with the time. So thank you all very much. I can do Kishkindakand also for the next 1 hour, but I don't want to trouble all of you. So I'm sure you will all have other duties to perform. So thank you very much. Ramachandra Bhagwan ki jai, Ramnavami Mahotsav ki jai. So
Okay.
I wish you all a very happy Ramnavami.
Same to you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Beautiful session. Prabhuji, do you have time for questions? Few questions.
Oh, yes, yes. And
I
that
have,
is,
I'll just, devotees are requested to raise their hands. Before that, I'll just grab this opportunity. Prabhu, you gave a very interesting, I've never heard this before about that demon, no, Maricha, that he chose service to Ravana, but not to Ram. But Prabhu,
yeah.
even choosing, making that choice that let me be killed, let me die in the hands of Rama, that speaks
Hmm.
something about Maricha, that he had that spiritual knowledge, no, Prabhu, though a
Correct, yes.
demon. So
Correct.
still, he wouldn't get God's abode, Prabhuji, because he chose, as it
Uh,
is, he was left with no choice, isn't it? He had to
correct.
die.
Correct. Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Can't hear you, Prabhu. Is it just me?
No, no,
Yes,
I think,
we can hear
We
Mataji.
can hear Mataji.
Oh,
Can
oh,
hear
oh,
Mataji.
oh,
okay.
okay.
Maybe
Okay, I
some
can. Yes,
internet
yes, I
problem
can
with
hear.
you. Yeah, okay.
I can hear.
So I was saying that I don't know the destination of Marich, but definitely, he would have been placed in a better situation to continue with his devotion. He would get an opportunity for devotion of Supreme Lord, because it is not easy. No Tom, Dick, Harry can see the Lord face to face. And Marich was able to see Lord Ram twice. First, initially in Balkand, and later on here in this Aranyakand, he was able to see Lord Ram. So definitely he has some Sukriti. That is why, he was able to see the Lord face to face. And not only that, when Ravana had approached Marich, actually Marich was meditating. He had given up his eating, drinking, everything, and he was meditating for a very long time. I don't know on what, but probably he was meditating on pleasing Lord Brahma or somebody, because generally demons, they worship Lord Brahma. So he had performed austerities and he was able to see Lord Ram. So some Sukriti is there, but his understanding was a little flawed, in the sense that although he knew that it is better to die in the hands of Lord Ram, he couldn't understand that serving Lord Ram and dying in his hands is the best, rather than only just dying but serving uh, Ravana. Because he did a great disservice by calling out Lakshmana, Sita, he called out while dying. That is to misguide them. That is, serving Ravana. That was foolish. Because if he had really realized that, anyway I'm dying, anyway Rama is very powerful and he probably may be the Supreme Lord, then let me not do disservice to him by calling out Lakshmana and Sita. Instead of that, let me, you know, tell him the truth that, go quickly and serve Sita, let me die, but she will be taken away by Ravan. Something like that, which he didn't do. Instead of that, he was misguiding, disappearing, appearing, and trying to misguide Ram. So, it was
Yeah,
anyway
despite
to
of
die.
having the knowledge. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Sumangala Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, for the wonderful Ramakatha, Prabhuji, and lot of
Hare
takeaway
Krishna.
points. Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna.
to Mataji's questions, I just doubt the doubt is that Prabhuji, like the mood that matters, even at the time of last time, because the Lord guarantees if one takes the names of his names or his devotees' names. I mean, is my understanding correct, Prabhuji? Please correct me if I'm wrong. So whoever, like at the time of death, if we call out for Prabhupada or anybody, they
Hmm.
are, I mean, they are the pure devotees of the Lord. So,
Correct.
but they will attain the abode of Godhead. Like, I
Correct.
mean, so it is like that.
Correct.
So even he called out for Sita and Lakshmana.
Yeah, but it was unfavorable. It was
Yeah, and so
unfavorable.
that
Yeah.
that's what.
There is, yeah, there is favorable devotional service, unfavorable devotional service. But still, he will be benefited, because अज्ञानात् अथवा ज्ञानात् उत्तम श्लोक नाम यत् संकीर्तितम अघम पुंसो दहेद येधो यथा अनलः. In the Ajamil story, we see that Agnana athava Gnana, with knowledge or without knowledge, it doesn't matter. Anybody who takes the names of Lord, he is purified and he is given an opportunity. But somebody who favorably takes the names of Lord Ram at the time of death, is definitely he goes back to the kingdom of God. So
And
you have been given
Ajamila
another
was
opportunity. Hmm?
Sorry, Prabhuji. Ajamila was benefited because it is the, will of the Lord. Ultimately, it is the will of the Lord, whom
Correct,
to
correct.
show His mercy or
Correct.
not.
Correct. So unknowingly he took the name of Lord, which was that of his son's name, but still he was benefited because the dint of devotional service that he practiced in his past, and also um, he was given the opportunity to render bhakti for another 12 years. He was not immediately taken away because he was still not fully favorably practicing. Till the time of his death, he was not favorably situated. He was sinful. But calling out his son's name, he was purified and he was given a second chance. So, although unknowingly he took the name of Lord Ram, name of Narayana, still he didn't directly go to the spiritual world. He was given the chance to render favorable devotional service. So he went to Haridwar and he practiced bhakti, chanted the whole name all the time, chanted the holy name all the time for 12 years. That's when he fructified into proper favorable devotional service, and then he was taken back. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for clearing that, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji,
Right.
my doubt was that in each Manvantara, what I understood is like that, Prabhuji, like in each Chaturvyugas, in each Treta Yuga, the Lord, incarnation of Lord, the Lord appears. So Lord Rama appears.
No,
So in
no,
that,
no, no, no.
so only in one.
Yashodanandan Krishna, Lord Narsimha, and Lord Rama. They come only once in a day of Brahma.
Prabhuji, that means in 71 Manvantaras, only once.
No, in thousand Chaturyugas or 14 Manvantaras, Lord Ram comes only one, Lord Narsimha Dev comes only once. Lord
Okay.
Narsimha came in Chakshusha Manvantara, in the middle of Chakshusha Manvantara, while killing Hiranyakashipu. And Lord Ram comes in the Vaivaswata Manvantara, when the Surya Vamsha starts. So they don't come. It is not just only Krishna, but it is also Lord Ram and Lord Narsimha. They come only once in a day of Brahma. That is once in 14 Manvantaras or once in 1000 Chaturyugas. There are other incarnations of Lord, like Buddha, Kalki, then Vamandev. No, Vamandev is also actually Manvantara avatar. Buddha, Kalki, then Lord Balaji, Tirupati Balaji, then Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar. They all come multiple times, several times. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, how do we get more knowledge about this, Prabhuji's Manvantaras and all that? These
Lagu
details.
Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami. You can buy it. It's a small book, just 200 pages.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Shilpa Mataji, you had a question and then you lowered your hand. Okay, maybe she's not available.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Even the
Yes,
little
Mataji.
service done, thank you, Mataji. Even the little service done in this, in the mission of the gurus and the Lord can save us now, Prabhuji. Like in the case of Chatayu. So
Yeah.
you mentioned that even serving the guru is more important.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know, Prabhuji, is it that one who connects to the parampara, bona fide in a bona fide way, like officially taking diksha, will it benefit, or how to understand that, Prabhuji?
It's a heart to heart relationship, Mataji. So one may not be formally initiated, but one is fully surrendered to a pure devotee. He is also delivered. One does not need to be even initiated. But that should not be taken as a blanket statement. Oh, without initiation also we can, get delivered. We should not think like that. But I'm saying that technically, without being initiated, also one can be delivered. Jiva Goswami says one does not need diksha. Jiva Goswami says simply by taking shelter of a pure devotee and chanting the holy name, by the very dint of the power of the holy name, one can be delivered by serving a pure devotee. So it is a heart to heart relationship. Like, George Harrison, he didn't sit in a, yeah, what is that, yagya, in a initiation yagya, and Prabhupada, gave him beads and told, okay, from today your name is, you know, Haridas or something. No, he didn't initiate, but Prabhupada said, you're already Hari's son. That was his initiation. It was a heart to heart relationship. And how George Harrison served him? He made sure that, all the devotees were hosted in England. And he made sure that Bhakti Vedanta Manor was, donated. Then he also made sure that um, the Krishna book was printed, you know, several thousands of copies were printed, and he completely sponsored the printing of the Krishna book. Then he sang songs, Oh My Sweet Lord, and an entire album, which was on the top. So he did so many things. So, that way he was dedicated. It was a heart to heart relationship. When you surrender by your heart, that's it. Jatayu, he gave his life and soul. Surrender doesn't mean that, I will hear some lecture. No, giving ourselves, giving our body, mind, words, wealth, life, everything. So by that also, by the very dint of surrender, one can also be delivered. We hear all these stories even in Ramanuja Sampradaya, where Ramanujacharya, um, there's a pastime. Her name is that there's one milkmaid. Does anyone know her name? Let me check the internet. Very
Kolur Penpadi. Kolur.
Kolur?
She asked 80 questions why she is coming out of that village. Is that story, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji.
Penpillai. Kolur Penpillai.
She is a milkmaid.
Yeah.
She was delivering milk and curd.
Ramanujacharya will ask her why she is coming out of that village when everyone is want to be in that village. Is that you are referring, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji. So meanwhile,
Like
somebody can search for her
Kotti,
name.
Kotti Prabhuji.
Yes, Tumbiur Kondi, correct.
Correct.
So she was coming to the ashram, and she was delivering milk, curd, and this and that. In those days, there was no rupee, no paisa, nothing. It was all barter system. So she was coming and delivering milk and curd free. Generally, it was free only earlier. Later on, all this we are buying now. So she was coming and delivering. She was doing the seva. She said, "Oh, your ashram, you're all engaged in, worshipping Lord. So this is seva from my side," and she would keep coming and giving milk. So at one point of time, uh, her time came for payment. She came to Ramanujacharya. She said, my lord, I've been giving you so much milk all these days. I should be remunerated. Then Ramanujacharya smiles. Because in those days, there was no such thing as money or giving gold coin or anything for milk. So he smiles and he says, "Tell me, what do you want?" Then she says, where are you going? Actually, he was planning to go to Tirumala. And he says, I'm going to Tirumala because the Lord is, potent enough to deliver us. She had heard all this. So she says that, I also want to go to Tirumala. So you give me a recommendation. Give me a recommendation letter stating that uh, I recommend this lady to be delivered from this material world. So when she requests this as the remuneration, then Ramanujacharya says, all right, I will give you a recommendation letter, but it is up to the Lord, what he has to decide, because I can't force the Lord to deliver you. So he gives a recommendation letter saying that this lady, Tumbiur Gondi, she has served the Vaishnavas by serving milk, curd, all that. So I recommend her to be a right candidate for moksha. So, and he writes it and he signs it and he gives it to her. Then she is very happy. She takes that letter and she goes. She is climbing from Tirupati to Tirumala. Those days there were no buses to climb, to go out to the top. So when she was climbing, it is said that even half the way, Lord Balaji, Venkateshwara Balaji, came halfway on the mountain in his entire Chaturbhuja Rupa. And he asked her, oh lady, what are you doing? What are you carrying in your hand? She said, I have I have the recommendation letter of Ramanujacharya. And he looks at that letter and he reads, oh, is it? Okay, then that's fine. I am the same person. And he immediately, a Vaikuntha Viman comes for her. She sits in that and she goes back to Vaikuntha. She did not even reach Tirumala. She did not even take darshan of the Lord, nothing. The Lord was in such a great hurry to deliver her just because she had a recommendation of Ramanujacharya. This is the glory of serving a pure devotee. There are many such, there's another story of Vadaganambi. Vadaganambi is another great devotee. He is known for Guru Nishtha. So it is said that, when Nam Perumal, that is the Utsav Murti of the Lord in Sri Rangam, when the Lord was taken out in Utsav, in Pallaki, and when they were going around the temple, in one corner of the temple compound is where Ramanujacharya was living. And all the disciples and Ramanujacharya, they came, they wanted to take darshan of Namparamal, and they came out and they were paying obeisances. They saw that, one person was missing, that is Vadaganambi, because Ramanujacharya had told him, to boil the milk for him. So they called, all the disciples called him, come, come see the Lord, and then later you can continue with this. He said, no, I'm not coming. Then Ramanujacharya was a little upset, pleasantly upset. He said, Vadaganambi, what is wrong with you? Come, take darshan of the Lord. Then Vadaganambi, he refuses Ramanujacharya also. Then after the Lord leaves, then he asks him, what is wrong with you? Why didn't you come? He said, for me, your service is more important. I was boiling milk for you. So I know who you are. I don't know who Lord is. I don't know what bhakti is. I don't care. I know only that only through you I will get the Supreme Lord. So my main service is to serve you. So it doesn't matter who comes or goes, I will continue to serve you. So hearing this, Ramanujacharya became very happy because that shows his Guru Nishtha. And another time also, they were traveling. So during that traveling, they had jholas, they will carry jholas. So Ramanujacharya had given him one pair of his footwear, those padukas, to carry it in that jhola, a separate jhola. So this person, Vadaganambi, along with the worshipable deities of Lord, uh, worshipable deities of Ramanujacharya, along with that, he placed Ramanujacharya's footwear, his padukas, and he was carrying. When Ramanujacharya later, when he opened it and when he saw that, he became very upset, very angry. He said, how dare you keep my footwear next to the Lord's deities? Then again, Vadaganambi says, I don't know who Lord is. I don't know what his worship is. That only you know. I know who you are. You can give me Lord. So for me, your footwear is as good as the deities of the Supreme Lord. So for me, I don't see any difference. So he said that. So that way, Ramanujacharya was, of course, pleasantly surprised, but he corrected him. We should not do that. So that shows it is an example of Guru Nishtha. What is surrender, And this lady, Tumbi Konde, she didn't get some initiation She didn't get, what is that, Om Namo Narayanaya mantra or anything like that, and the Shakshari mantra or nothing like that. In fact, there was one more person who, uh, who was deaf and dumb, and he was serving, the ashram of Ramanujacharya. And he was literally crying, crying, crying. Then Ramanujacharya asked him, "What is wrong with you?" Then he says, "You all," like in action only, sign language, he said, "You all are able to hear, you all are able to speak about the Lord, but I have no, I'm deaf and dumb. I have no hope. I'm finished." Then Ramanujacharya takes him into a room, and then he places his lotus feet on his head like this, and he blesses him. He tells that simply, merely by the dint of your service to me and all the other Vaishnavas, you will be delivered by the Supreme Lord. And this was seen through a small hole by Kuresh Alvar, or Kuratalvar. So he saw this, and he was in tears, seeing how merciful Ramanujacharya is, that simply by placing his lotus feet on the head of a person who didn't know how to chant because he can't chant, who didn't know what to hear because he can't hear, simply because he had such a grateful heart to see how devotees were relishing the glories of the Lord and how devotees were dedicated to the Supreme Lord. Simply by that thought only he was crying. That shows he had a very soft heart. He had the, repenting heart that, because of some past, he is deaf and dumb. So he was eager for that mercy. So Ramanujacharya saw that, he is a right recipient of the mercy, and he gave him. So there are many stories like this, Ramanujacharya stories where one person, he does not want to chant Om Namo Narayana. He says, "I don't have any faith. I don't know if I'll get, but I want to chant Shri Ramanujaye Namaha," something like that. They have a mantra. Then only for him, Ramanujacharya approved. All right, if you don't want to chant Narayana, at least you can chant this. Simply by chanting the pranam mantra of Ramanujacharya, that person also was delivered. So that shows service to pure devotees, to spiritual master, initiation or no initiation is a sure shot guaranteed success in the spiritual life.
It's so hope-giving, Prabhuji. Even the mercy of unconditional mercy of Prabhupada, Prabhuji, wherein if
Yeah,
he has asked
exactly.
me to chant 16 rounds, not
Correct.
even 64. If he had given 64 rounds, then
Correct.
definitely,
Yeah.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Beautiful session. Prabhuji didn't want the session to end. The stories, pastimes of the Vaishnav Sampradaya was beautiful, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Hare
Mata.
Krishna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, because so many things we didn't know also about
Yeah, we didn't
Mariti.
know.
Yeah. And Prabhuji, can you tell me who killed this Gabanda?
Who
His
is?
head, Gabanda. You know, the one who
Kabanda.
was,
Kabanda. Ha.
who cursed him?
Kabanda was cursed by nobody cursed him. Kabanda was very powerful demon. When he attacked Indra, Indra threw his thunderbolt, and because of that, his head got smashed inside his body under his trunk, and then his legs also got smashed. So he had no legs and no head.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay,
Indra
thank
did
you.
this, and then later Indra benedicted, "Okay, you'll be relieved of your curse by the mercy of Lord Ram and Lakshmana, who will, finish you." Yeah.
Very nice. Prabhuji, today we learned so many things which we didn't know at all in Ramayana.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Not much, a very small book, 200 pages book. You can read this Bhakti Vikas Maharaj Ramayana. You'll learn everything.
Okay, it's by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj.
Yeah. It's originally
Okay.
by Valmiki, but yeah,
Yeah.
retold by Bhakti Vikas Swami. Simple, because we know 24,000 verses, nobody has time. Although, ISKCON has published 24,000 verses Ramayana written by Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu. It is available online by Roop Raghunath Publications. Still, it is much bigger than Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam 18,000 only we are not able to read. Now 24,000 verses with purport, translation, everything. devotees, generally we are so busy that we have no time to read. So at least for those who are busy, for them, we have Maharaj's mercy in the form of 200 pages. The entire Ramayana can be read. We can
Who is
read
the
this.
publisher? Who is the publisher, Prabhuji? You said just now.
The original Ramayana or this book?
Yeah. The one that you showed just now.
This one is by Bhakti Vikas Swami Trust. This is another publication. This is Maharaj's
Okay.
own publication. It is not BBT. Even the Ramayana published by ISKCON devotees is also Rupa Raghunath publications. It is not BBT. But it's written by a devotee in Mayapur.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
And very easy to read this. Within one day, one can read this. If you know
Oh,
how to read. Yeah. I'll tell you the trick of how to read it also. Always we should use finger to read. We should never keep like this and read. When we keep the book like this and when we read, we don't have focus and attention. We'll tend to forget. We don't tend to remember. But when we use the finger, then we move. We move our finger on top of the lines. When you read like this, within one day you can read this entire book. Morning take breakfast, read it. Afternoon take lunch, read it. By 6 o'clock you'll be done with this book. And you
but
do this at least 10, 20 times if you read this book, then you'll have no doubts about Ramayana.
then where do you keep the book, Prabhuji? On the table or the same way that you showed with one
Where
hand?
to keep the table? Where to keep the? Yeah, you can keep it on the table. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
not have strength in your hand to hold it. Just keep it on the
Yeah.
table and use your finger like this. Every line you should use your finger to read. Then
Okay,
you'll finish it within one day.
that's a very good tip, Prabhuji.
Yeah, this is used by everybody. This is there for
Yeah,
Yeah.
hundreds of
we
years.
teach this in preschool, Prabhu. In preschool,
Yeah.
we teach children like this
Yeah,
only.
but as we grow, we forget it. We don't want to use it. We
Yeah,
think it is only for kindergarten kids.
yeah,
But that is a way to read.
happens.
Because I take the pencil, Prabhuji, because if you have it underlined somewhere, immediately you underline there. That's
Children
why
will
now I
miss
use.
lines. So the teachers go like this,
Yeah,
go like
with
this,
fingers.
so they don't miss line. But
Yeah.
when we become elders, when we use it, it is very fast. We'll be able to read it.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
I just wanted to know, Prabhuji, the cost because it is given in one site it is given 1,000 and in the other site it is 300. So I just wanted to cross check. That's
No, this is hardly 250, 300 rupees.
okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
You'll get it in any center also if you go. Yeah. The other Ramayana, the full-fledged Ramayana is costly. Like each kand is around 1,500, 1,900 like that. That will cost you 12, 15,000 to buy the entire Ramayana. But that is also, anybody wants to deep dive into scriptural study, we can, buy that Ramayana. I don't have it. I plan to take maybe one kanda at one time. So we can do that.
I think this should do for us, Prabhuji, because we had the time to read so much. We are already reading Bhagavatam and other
Right.
books. Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
a good thing. You can
Yeah.
get from Amazon, this one?
Yeah, on Amazon you'll get it.
Okay,
Prabhuji, you
Prabhuji.
mentioned the other site also, which is that, Prabhuji? Like Raghunath, something is you
Rupa
mentioned.
Raghunath Publications is the publication. You'll get it on Amazon. Search
Okay.
it in Amazon, you'll get it. But if you directly buy it from Mayapur, it'll be much cheaper. But because it's on Amazon, it is a little costly.
Thank you, Prabhu. Once again, all glories to your services, Prabhu. Thank you very much for this session and giving us your association, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thanks to all the devotees for accepting my service and all your association.
Wish you happy Ramnavami, Prabhuji, and to all
Wish
the
you the same.
devotees.
Shall
Hare
I close
Krishna.
the session with the prayers, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Vancha
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
kalpatarubhyascha
कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
नमो नमः
अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
वृंद की जय
शिल प्रभुपाद की जय
जय
Hare Krishna.
Ram Katha
एक